Oh yeah, now keep in mind, one of the things that keeps coming up is how there's these various influencers, left of center, that keep trying to come up with this argument about some kind of racial form of fascist state that the right wing in America wants, even though that goes against the fundamental history, culture, and tenets of Christianity, which no one wants to face, that because Hitler's Germany was socialist, they actually were rolling up Christianity by denominations, eventually trying to form a thing that they were going to call the Reichskirche, which would be the state church. And this was really the goal. This is why during all of the parades that Hitler put on, you would see pagan symbolism rather than Christian. It was a way of, it was the way that collectivists have to pervert things so that they could create a collective. The true idea of the melting pot. You destroy everything that's a part of the melting pot. That's what that kind of collective. That's what collectivism tends to do to real things in the culture. So something that I was noticing that it's going to probably get brought up, and then as usual it'll be dismissed as some kind of myth, but then it's going, then of course our heroes in Congress will find the dirt on it, and because now we've got real heroic characters in there. So, but what it is that lists are being made of people who are right of center by the federal government. There's now multiple different programs by the DOJ to try to get names of people who don't vote the right way. And when this is one of these things that it goes way back in American history, such that when you do this, we never had a way of categorizing and recording all the, who voted which way. But now that we have this method of doing this is going to go horribly wrong for the people assembling these lists of who votes the way that they don't like. Because it opens up as the whole thing. I keep wanting to bring this up over and over and over again to make sure that it gets out there. Richard Spencer said why he supported Biden. And Richard Spencer himself said he supports Biden and Harris because they are coercive. They believe in using the state coercively against their political enemies, or against anybody who even comes their political advantage to mess with. So, and will break constitutional law. Like Richard Spencer's like, no, Harris and Biden will break the Constitution. That's why I need them. And so I like to make sure people know that, like that the quintessential white nationalists wanted Biden and Harris to become the president and vice president. So now you've got it where they've done most of what it would be to be the coercive party, the party that's actually trying to form enemies lists and prosecute them and persecute them. They coordinating with various coordinating fundamentally with political goons and thugs and stuff like that, so as to bring violence to demonstrate, to start demonstrations that end, over and over and over again with violence. And so the beauty of this that I've been thinking about, like, one, it's that part of it, if you're going to get what you deserve. And so this part of it that's like, well, yeah, you form these enemies lists, you actually end up boxing yourself in, because then if these people ever find these lists, if they ever know, this political party was planning to do something to me, Well, one that opens up for a whole bunch of lawsuits. There is a bunch of lawsuits, that you could end up dropping. But the big thing is that at some point somebody gets to say, they get to present their case to other people and say, do I really come across as some kind of threat that you need the state itself and a political party to start some secret investigation into my life? It also brings up, fundamentally, the liberals are this way. And that's the part that I really want, that to sink in for people. That the liberals are like that. They are really, really, really like that. They really actually do think that the right wing are some kind of violent people that commit the violence, and that's why their kids are religious and behave, because they're afraid of some kind of, like somebody will do something violent in the name of God if they don't behave correctly or don't follow the rules, things like this. So these are people who think of themselves as iconoclastic, incredibly original, and because they're liberated, and they don't follow the rules, they can just take people's intellectual properties and ruin them or something like that. And it's always brilliance. It's always brilliance. It's never not the most brilliant thing that's ever been. And remember, they can't accept that either. They cannot. They can't accept the criticism of this wasn't very good. Your artwork is bad. So I'm actually really excited that we're discovering that they're putting us all on lists and are going, get them, get those Christians and right-wingers. I love it. I love it. It's, my mentality is, I was like, do it. Oh, do it. Because these people are such dumb bitches. The thing that's going to happen is this is going to be the end of feminism. It's going to be the end of the liberal chicks. It's going to end everything. Because once you do something like this, it's like the whole thing comes down to, so what were you planning to do with this list? That's the whole deal. Imagine if they figured out what the holorith machines were going to be used for ahead of time. So that's what this is really, so what do you guys plan to do with all of our names? Huh? I'm just sitting here cleaning my gun, and I'm thinking, boy, you want to meet me. You want to come and hang out with me, apparently, and discuss politics. Well, that sounds great. It's so busy polishing my fucking Glock, So, I'm, by the end of this, one of the things that this is going to lead to is the idea of how do we ensure that people like the Democratic Party, can't do stuff like this again. That's what a huge part of the future is going to be. How do we make sure the Democratic Party can never, ever do this again? And, how do we forbid, and then also, is their organization so criminal, so utterly and morally deviant, that it should be banned, it should be that there is more than enough reason to get rid of it, because everywhere they go, everything they do breaks into fucking chaotic violence. And then it's also a matter of, I'm thinking that because of the reaction to not having the political will, I'm thinking more and more that reaction to not having the political will result in, oh no, the right is going to develop the political will. And when they do, it's going to be the long operation of it's going to be a long evisceration of everything we don't want. And the best is going to be really digging into the books of Democrats, which has to happen. That it just has to happen now. Too much has happened that we can't go trying to figure out more and more of what they're up to, who's making money off it and how. And now those are the rules. Now those are the rules. And the beautiful part is everyone's going to play by the rules because the option is, oh, they're not armed. They aren't sitting there polishing their Glock while thinking, why are you putting me on a list? They're not doing that. They're playing pretendo about their gender, and so it's gender pretenders, playing pretend games, and so and then there's going to be the whole thing of why does law enforcement consistently find a way that if somebody is left of center, their crimes are unknown. The manifestos that they leave go unread. Can't read that. Can't read it. Oh no. Why are their Facebook profiles and their social media profiles as quickly as possible covered up? Oh no. Nobody look at this person's social media. But anybody who, the minute it's somebody who the press is like, oh my God, this guy was right of center and he committed a crime, that on the news, you will find their Facebook page. That's the part that's going to get really fascinating. Why are these Facebook pages showing up on the news after crimes are committed, but nothing about this entire categorical group? That all these people, it's making people wonder. Just one of those odd coinky-dinky do's that just kind of happened, I guess. It's definitely not that reporters and media firms are notoriously just leftist and party goons with who could type well. Or could type fast. No, that's not it. These are talented people who are really informative. Yeah, that's the ticket. That's the ticket right there. So I'm kind of enjoying seeing, for how much things get worse, there's too many people now who are of the educated class, who have some kind of cultural memory, who understand something about history, that they're moving away. They are homering. They're doing the homer into the bush, over and over and over again, and then we start seeing it in numbers. That fundamentally they're sitting back going, these fucking people freak me out now, and I'm loving that keeps happening now. That now it's this matter of no. My friends who were like totally cool deadheads once now are fucking crazy weirdos who won't take their masks off, and that's, and then there's that COVID round, next round, whatever the round is. That's the beautiful one, because this is one where this is going to be the thing of when you see these people, it's just going to be funny. I mean, it's going to be sad, but it's also, there's going to be a bit of kind of humor almost to it. That there's these people who keep thinking oh yeah, oh my God, yeah, I'm going to protect myself with this mask. And again, the masks don't work. You learn this in first responder class because you might think they work and you catch a virus. First fucking responder class, it's just, that's one I'm never going to get over. That is to explain that to people. No, when you're taught to respond to somebody passing out on the floor, a mask doesn't help because you've probably been exposed already. If somebody is sick, putting on a mask won't really help you because they aren't antiviral. I loved having to bring this up This is well known. And it says so on the box. And I remember the day some dude walked back there and looked, and it said so on the box. It says so on the side of the box. They've had to put it on the side of the box because they have to warn people to not misuse the product in case they might be sued, because people thought that the product was supposed to do one thing, protect them from a virus, when the product was never designed to protect them from a virus. So they wrote on the side of the box, this surgical mask is not designed to protect you from viruses. And it was just infuriating that when you've taken classes on this from firefighters and first responders, that all of a sudden somebody who types well for a living, or somebody who's just pretty and is on the news, is suddenly some kind of fucking expert on something that's so clear and has been clear for 40 years. This isn't new shit. And so I'm just glad to see it all happening like this. I'm just glad to see it all happening. And yeah. So, time for me to get going. Do a few things. Okay, that's not the agency. The agency is on the other block. Okay, there we go. All right, later.